Hi, everyone. Merry Christmas Eve. Welcome to the Power Network. I'm Amy. Today, we're getting into the Melodee Buzzard case, but more specifically, what happened during Hidden True Crimes coverage when the chat itself became the story, at least for me. Viewers started noticing things in real time, questions started popping up, and almost immediately the moderation went into overdrive. Chat slowed, comments disappeared, mods stepped in hard, and you could feel the tone shift live. So, we're going to break down what viewers noticed, how fast the moderation escalated, and why that matters. And we're also taking our own look at the Melodee Buzzard case, filling in gaps, adding context, and looking at what wasn't covered or just was skipped because Lauren was super nervous, you could tell. We also caught something at the very end that got cut off, that just a little piece. But anyway, I digress. This isn't about dragging anyone. It's about what happens when a live audience starts clocking things for themselves. I'm rolling the intro while the algorithm brings in the rest of the Power family. Shout out to my replay crew, my Power crew, and my dragonflies. Love you, babies.
Carefully strumming this old guitar again. Words rolling out into our fire. If heaven had wings, I would steal them and fly away with you for a while. Hearing the essence of gratitude, your dreamy little smile on my lips. I miss my cue, but baby, I had you. Miss my cue, but I had you for that day. Here in the
Here in the essence of gratitude, I am so happy to be here on this Merry Christmas Eve with my Power crew. I hope everyone's doing well. Or if you're not, that you're at least, being good to yourself. So that's what is important. I'm not. I have chosen to spend this holiday alone, and but I am so happy that I can be here with all of you. You make it that much better. So let's just try to make it better for one another and enjoy ourselves. So also, we want to say that it's such a tragedy that poor Melodee was found. I was hoping that she would have been found alive, but that was not to be. And I think a lot of us knew that. And we're going to start covering this case. So we're not only going to be looking at HTC, but we're also going to be looking at this case because yesterday when it was going on over in Lauren's live, she had the volume down so low. It was so low. I couldn't hear anything. I ran it through a thing and I put the volume up higher for us. She's like, and she was typing in chat. She's like, it's as high as it can go. So you're going to have to adjust it yourself. And I popped over to Grizzly True Crime because she was covering it too. And her volume was just fine. It was not our volume. It was their volume. Anyway. Anywho's, so there was a lot of interesting things that was going on in chat. I was very interested, and I didn't join. They put it to where you had to. It was subscribers only mode, and first it was subscriber only mode. You had to be a subscriber for 5 minutes, and I did put up a notification over in our community chat that it was going to be happening. And I had mentioned that, if you're going to be in their chat, just a warning that you are going to have to subscribe and be a subscriber for at least 5 minutes prior to joining. But then the chat started filling up, and people had waited their 5 minutes, I think. And yowzers, you could feel a distinct shift in chat. You could tell that Grayson was having to work overtime. It slowed down to like a crawl. So that told me that they were deleting all the messages. Like very few people were talking. And then they had to increase the moderation to 10 minutes. So you had to be a member or, a subscriber for 10 minutes in order to chat during chat. And because it was just getting too much, and there was hardly anyone saying anything. Lauren's face was getting weirder and weirder. She did 2 lives, by the way. The first was like a I don't know, a warm up, a precursor to let people know. I think she was just like testing the waters to see if they could actually moderate sufficiently. Because the first one was just like a 15-minute one or so. And then the next one was like a 45, 50-minute one. But she was really nervous. And then on the last one that she did, I went back this morning to see if it got caught, but the last like 3 or 4 seconds, she was saying something. And then it dawned on me, like, so you see what people are saying before you have to see what they say before it gets deleted. So even though we didn't see it all, Grayson and Lauren had to see it all. So whatever was being said to her was rattling and rolling her. And so we're going to take a look at that. And then we're going to actually take a look at the conference itself and listen to what was actually being said. So I also had something, but before we got into that, I had a question that I woke up with this morning. And I thought maybe like I would put this to you guys and you guys could answer it. So I thought this was interesting. You know how there's new information. Well, before we do that, if we could just start that algorithm dance party that I like to do and just warm your fingers up and dance them right up to the hearts and thumbs up button and give me that DNA love that I like. It just helps me go out into the algorithm and party out there, bring more people back. It's just a free way to help my channel out, and it's really, really appreciated. Today, we're coming to you on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. So if you could just give me love on that platform. Let me come over into chat and say good morning, and then I will put the question to you. Good morning, Amy Boston. In my humble opinion, she's swollen from drinking too much lately. I think there was some slurring of the words. Her face was extremely swollen. It just didn't look good. Yes, I would love to get to 10K for Christmas. We're halfway there. I think we're at 9,500 or so. Good morning. In LM's defense, she may be on a high. Yeah, that's another thing. It has come out that she has MS. I have MS as well. And steroids do make your face swell up. I think it's a combination of a lot of things. I don't think it's just one thing. Like, I think a lot of things can be true at one time. And so I think she could be having an MS flare. She could be on steroids. She could be taking some kind of substances. She could be using alcohol. She could be very stressed out. She could be crying all the time. She could be fighting with John. She could be fighting with Grayson. I think a lot of things are happening at once with this woman. All things that she created, but I think there's a lot of things going on. Merry Christmas, Kim. Thank you for being here. 1 a.m. Christmas Day on the East Coast of Australia. Oh, yeah. Happy Christmas, Dr. Calamity Jane. I forgot. To all my Australians, it's already Christmas. I will never understand how you can do this to anyone, let alone your child. Rest in peace, baby girl. Exactly. This is just an awful case. Like this, I have a hard time with the kids, but you love the song. It's so good to see you, Betsy Sue. Merry Christmas Eve to you. Hello, friends. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to everyone. And whatever holiday you celebrate during this time, I know not everybody, I'm not, just happy holidays and Merry Christmas and just all that warm, fuzzy goodness I'm sending your way. Okay, so I want to present this to you. So we know that hidden true crime, and let me get myself all situated too. Hidden true crime was deeply, deeply covering the Vallow case. We all know this, right? We all know that hidden true crime is covering the Vallow Daybell case. We know this. So why is it that we get this breaking stuff coming out? I mean, people have been saying this to me. The state responded to Lori Daybell's appeal part 3. I mean, Gigi's on part 3. But do we have anything over on hidden true crime? I didn't fully look. I just looked in the videos. I will admit to that. But has she said anything about Lori? Do we have Lori? Like, why are we not getting anything about Lori? I mean, this is a case she followed extensively. Is there a post? Did we even get a post? Not even a post. So why is she not covering this? I'll tell you why. And this is all my opinion for educational and, purposes only. But why are we not getting, if she's so dedicated to the family and to, the Lori Vallow Daybell case, why is she not covering this? Where is it? Has anyone seen it? Am I missing it? Because I could be making a big deal, a big fuss about it, and it's just here somewhere because, I look with my eyes closed sometimes. I can open up the fridge and be looking for something and it'll be right there. But I don't see it. I see her capitalizing on the most, Rob Reiner, the monkey one she was doing. Oh, wait. Oh, she did Chad Daybell's cousin charged. She dipped into that. But where is Lori? Isn't that big news? No? Anyway, I just thought about that this morning. I'm like, why are we not getting that coverage? We're getting it from Gigi. Gigi, the one who,
the case. And I remember thinking this is going to take forever for her.
She sent down the river because she wasn't getting enough attention from.
To go to trial with a new defense counsel coming in. They have to catch up. Seems like forever ago. All right. So the next section, Vallow has failed to show any error plainly exists in the record. The second prong of the fundamental error test requires Vallow to show the alleged error plainly exists. They cite a case called Perry. Demonstrating an error plainly exists requires a showing that the error is clear as a factual matter, without the need for any additional information not contained in the appellate record, including information as to whether the failure was to object was a tactical decision. Vallow has
So We have our good old Gigi covering it. So everything that we view during today, I will put down in the YouTube show notes. We do this to cite our sources and for fair use. So now we're going to get into it. We're going to get into what we came here to get into. The HTC Live. Who exactly went to the live yesterday and was in chat? So yesterday, like I said, I just 5 minutes before I saw that I just finished a live and I saw that they were going live. So I let you guys know. And then I was there, but like I said, you had to become a member, and I in no way wanted to join their channel. So I just stayed on the outskirts of it all. Although when they went to the 10 minutes where you had to be a member for 10 minutes, and I mean, some of the comments were getting through because I know it was so intense that they couldn't not let them all come through. I considered buying a $2 super sticker just to push my comment up there. I didn't do it. I really debated about it because I knew the super stickers would pop up there because they were deleting all the comments. A few of them got through, and the reason we're talking about her looks is because those were the ones that got through. The way she looked were the ones that got through. But I wanted to do a super sticker and throw it up there and be like, why are you heavily moderating your comments? And yes, what is wrong with your face? Because that's what was getting through. People were like, we're going to go through. I screen grabbed some of the comments before they got deleted. I went into the lives afterwards and was screenshotting what the chat was saying, the comments were left before they got deleted. So we're going to take a look at some of those. Yeah, I wish I had, but I don't know. I'm really torn because I wish it hadn't been about the way she looked. I wish the comments that had gotten through were more why, I don't know. And then I could have, anyway, hindsight 2020, but now the thought is out there for her next live. I was like, man, somebody's going to think about it. I know, because I get these good thoughts. And then 2 seconds later, people are doing what I think, oh, we should. And then it starts happening, but nobody got that thought. So I almost texted a few people that I thought had more nerve than me and been like, we should have done should I, but anyway, didn't do it, but it is what it is. So, over on Reddit, people started letting other people know that HTC was going live about Melodee Buzzard. And like I said, the comments, even the comments that were benign, were asking her, what is wrong with your face? And they left some of these comments up for a while, but ultimately they took them down. But, and some of them were really nice comments, but not over, in the Reddit, but over in Reddit, they're saying this is not puffiness from MS medications. This is an insecure plastic surgery addict with body dysmorphia disorder, or she's a shapeshifter. And this was another one that I got a screenshot of last week somebody had made. And her face. All right. Do you think it's because she's lowering her eyebrows? I know eyebrows, I think it's a lot of things. So I think it's part of it. She's changed her eyebrows, right? Another part is that her face is more round. Now, somebody threw out a comment that it was because she has a different hairstyle, but not really. I mean, she doesn't really have a different hairstyle from here to here to here. to hear. Well, this, yeah. Also, the comments, people were commenting on her new light setup. They were saying no bueno to the light setup. We don't like it. We don't like. They were saying that this new look is very concerning. What the F happened to her face? Her eyes are swollen, almost shut. One is more open than the other. And she talks with a lisp. Now, she talks with a lisp, but she talks with more of a lisp. Now, I have a speech impediment too. That's why I pull out my words, because if I don't, then it sounds like I'm a mumbler. I sound like a MF mumbler. Like, you know, that Seinfeld episode, mumbler. That's who I am. I sound like I have a big box of rocks in my mouth. Before I go live, I do vocal warm-ups, and the little bird, he does them too. He does rubber baby buggy bumpers, toy boats, toy boats, toy boats. His favorite is how many woodchucks, because I change it for him. I go, how many woodchucks could a June bug chuck if a June bug could chuck woodchucks? Because he loves things that have his name in it. He loves his name. And so he can do the warm-ups with me. So I'm not one to make fun of people impediments, but I don't know if it's an impediment or if it's just how she talks and it's fucking annoying or what. But people are talking about how whatever she's doing to her face, it's making it worse to be able to understand her. So let me share this. Oops. These are the screenshots that I got from the live. Now, these are the lives that we did that I am talking about. She did this live. Oops, hold on. She came live. Is this the long? Yeah, she came live for 20 minutes and just did a pre-warm-up of it. And then she came back like a few hours later, or an hour or so later, and did this live that was 40 minutes. I thought this was, and I recorded most of the first one because I wasn't sure. Sometimes people make their chats disappear, and I didn't want to lose her chat. I do see that the chat is still here for this one, but the chat in the second one, I don't see it. It's not here. So, but luckily I recorded it. Now the recording is like, it was really low. Her volume was so low on this one.
Here in our region and those out of state.
But I fixed it and I put the volume up for it. And I think she ran it through too. So anyway, these are hers on her channel. Like I said, I will link everything if you want to go over and for hers, but this is what we have to work with here. So these were the texts, the messages that were left after those two lives. And we're going to go through the messages first, and then we're going to go into the lives and look at the live. I want to show you the live chat itself is what's interesting to me. I want us to look at the live chat. So I arranged it. I made the live chat a little bit bigger so we could see it, and I made her a little bit smaller. Let me see what you guys are saying really quick before we go into it, though. I think the lip filler is affecting her speech. Well, you can definitely tell she has lip filler in because you can see here, this right here is migration of lip filler. When people start getting this, you can see it even more right here. When they get the duck lip, this is migration of lip filler, which is so interesting to me because we were over in Reddit the other day and somebody said they were in the hidden gems and she tried to pretend like she doesn't do filler, like she doesn't do Botox. You can see it here. Like, I don't know, but maybe she is shrinking it. because her lips actually look smaller. She could be dissolving the filler too. I got to reach out to my friend that has a beauty channel and see if she'll come on. Because because it's the Christmas break, because she was going to nursing school, and so maybe she can. But anyway, you can tell the filler is migrating. So this person says, Lauren, thank you for letting us know. I know this is hard for you. And she didn't like a lot of things, very few things she liked. So I thought it was very interesting that this was the one that she liked. And that, they were saying sad and tragic news, Lauren, rest in peace, Melodee. And then it started like, some of them got through, some of them they didn't, but the very light ones mentioning like, I hope you are feeling all right. Take time off if you need to, Lauren. Those started happening. Then we have this person. I don't know how this one got through, but eventually it got deleted. But she says, Lauren, are you doing okay? Your face looks puffy and swollen. I'm just curious about your health. And then this person says, I am also worried about Lauren. She is not her usual self during this video report. And it tells me that these people don't know what's going on. Like, we think everybody knows what's happening, but they don't. And they are severely moderating stuff. So they don't know. They don't know. And this person says, I noticed, but didn't want to say anything. And this person says, I've just asked similar. It looks extremely worrying to me. This person says, I am worried about Lauren. She is not her usual self during this video report. This person says, I've just asked similar. It just looks extremely worrying to me. I've noticed, but didn't want to say anything. These people aren't saying like, oh yeah, we're so sorry about what's happening to you, Lauren. You must be stressed out. Oops, sorry, I didn't realize that was up there. Sorry, you guys. I bitched about this last week, but I don't like how big they make these new things up on the screen when you put people's comments. So people are noticing. Well, do you think this stayed very long? Nah. They started moderating out some of these comments, and it went to this. Then they moderated it down to 3 and left these 3 comments under it. I am worried about Lauren. She is not her usual self during this video report. I've just asked similar. It looks extremely worrying to me. I noticed, but didn't want to say anything. Eventually, this whole thread got deleted. Then I took it because her face looked, at times her voice would shake and tremble. And somebody said, is she crying? And I think I took it meaning, but I mean, there was also that moment where the mom was led out of the house to be arrested and you couldn't quite hear what she was saying. So I think Lauren thought she was asking if the mom was crying, but I thought she was asking if Lauren was crying, but Lauren answered it. I couldn't tell. It seems like someone was crying or singing in the audio of her being arrested. And then someone said, I don't know why she is awful. Now that could have been the mom or Lauren, but that got through. And then this person says, the lighting on your podcast lately makes your face look way too shiny. I did not do that. It did not do that in the past. I watched your podcast and one other because the other I had found out some of them are not to my liking. Take care. People are noticing things. People are noticing. Oh, this was more, sorry, this is out of place. This was more of, Lauren, are you doing okay? Your face looks puffy and swollen. I'm just curious about your health. This person said, I'm also worried about Lauren. I've just asked similar. I noticed, but didn't want to say anything. And this one said, yeah, from the last couple of videos, she doesn't look like her pretty self. the bright red lipstick didn't look good on her. I was just wondering. These eventually got deleted. I thought you had a black eye there for a minute, this person says. Lauren, hope you're okay. Rest in peace, Melodee. This person says, right? I'm glad it's not just me. Her face looks super swollen. This person said, I thought you were Bard. Glad you're back. I thought that one was an interesting comment. And then this person said, what do you make of the Idaho 4 case? And this person says, those camera lights are way too hot on your pretty face. It's distracting. And then we have, Lauren, you have to get a hold of those photographers and interview them. They are your heroes. I saved that because I am extremely worried that she will indeed get a hold of those people, and maybe they need to be warned. But I thought that was interesting comment. There were a lot of things, a lot of comments like, oh, Lauren, you're the best. You cover this the best way. And I come to you only because of your comments and whatever. This one said, I hyped the stream because, oh, here it is, because you're the only one who has talked about this today, which was not true. This one said, sounds like you're whining. And then this one says, who else put playback speed to 140 to be able to tolerate Lauren's way of slow, simple talking? Wow, the hidden rocks took offense to this and said, proofread your posts. This was the best they could do, is go after their spelling. You cannot spell. Freedom of speech does not mean to tolerate ignorant comments like yourself. This was before it all got deleted. This one got deleted. Then they came in and said, wow, that is what you chose to write on press conference videos of a beautiful angel done by her own mother. She made so many other channels covering this, but I thought Lauren was the only one covering this. You're welcome to go watch any of them if you don't like this presentation. Man, wouldn't it be nice if the hidden gems did the same and didn't come in and do this to us? It's so interesting that they get so offended when it happens to them. I can't comprehend people who watch videos on YouTube and take time out of their day to crap on the person who shared the video for really no logical reason. I'm really sick of it. Go touch grass. And then this person says, you sound like a Lauren hater, so go to another channel and get your news. You are so pathetic to come here and comment so rudely. And then the person says, no hate here, Lovey. You sound very judgmental. Grow up. Freedom of speech is a fact. So just giving a little bit of their own medicine, which they know like. She is abusing people and acting like she's the victim, right? She's definitely under the influence of something other than an inflated ego. She should switch up from gotta drink and a pill to gotta bump. I don't know what's wrong with her. We're gonna watch though in just a second. What was the question? Whatever happened to see something, say something? Yeah. Well, even in the comments, like yesterday, even the hidden gems that asked, like, what's wrong with you? Your face, and they were told not to ask those questions, to stop asking, to stop. I know I keep asking and then not looking, but were any of you guys in the chat last night or yesterday? I keep getting this pain that's like right above my belly button, like in my, I don't know where it is. It's like above, like probably like 2-3 inches above my belly button. And it's not constant, but every so often it like hits me and it hurts. It started yesterday. You can't rage watch her? Yeah, I couldn't even, usually when I, like, you'll see, okay, watch. Usually when I'm watching, I'm into frequency and sound and energy. And so I listen to a lot of music and sounds and frequencies. And when I
confirmed that the young girl's body,
when I am doing this, I will, oh, I cut it out, but I usually will put on some frequencies to listen in the background. And I couldn't even do that because I wanted to get the sound, but the sound was so bad. It recorded so bad and her sound was so bad. So, but I started recording. This was the warm up. This was the pre-warm up to the 40-minute one. This was the shorter one, and I didn't record it all. I recorded it in 2 bites because, you know, I didn't even know if I was going to like do this. And then I decided, yeah, I'm going to do it. But she didn't get a lot of super stickers. She got a few.
was found in an area where Melodee had traveled with her mother in October. It is believed that Melodee was killed and that she likely died in October before her disappearance made headlines, end quote. So
okay, but this was the one where she did have the chat up. So I'm going to go over to her page for this one because I hear an echo.
Mother, Ash. Hello, Gems. I don't even know how to start this. We have a terrible update today in the case of 9-year-old Melodee Buzzard. Not a reason I want to go live, but here I am. And before we go any further, I want to prepare you for what we're about to talk about because this is heavy. This is the update nobody wanted, but one many of us did fear.
You can tell how slow she's talking.
Was coming, especially as the days turned into.
You to hear that, and we've got to speed her up. I can't go that slow.
Into weeks, and the weeks turned into months, and 9-year-old Melodee Buzzard was still missing. Fear certainly grew. But multiple sources are now confirming that Melodee's body has been found.
Okay, so in this one, over when I recorded it, I did not actually, I meant to get the whole screen and I didn't. I wish I had. But I did do it in this, I did do it. Let me see. Yes, I did do it on the second one that I recorded. And you can see here that there was 1,677 people in the live. I mean, it got bigger. There was 2,022. I think it went all the way up to like 3,000 or 4,000 people were in the live. But I want you to look at how slow chat is moving. Like it is moving at a snail's pace. That's because they're moderating so heavily.
She is no longer alive. And according to law enforcement sources, human remains were actually located earlier this month.
So at this point, they have almost, how many do we have in chat right now? We have 382 people in chat, and we're moving faster than what she's moving. And she's probably at like nearly 2,000 people in her chat.
In Utah, in an area that investigators already knew Melodee and her mother.
She got a few stickers, but mostly it was just these people that were hidden gems that, you know, when you've been a subscriber for so many months, you can get a sticker to throw up there. And you can like put a little note that will be seen. So
mother had traveled through. As you remember, we talked about a Utah detour earlier in our reports on this, wondering why there was a detour through a place called Panguitch, Utah. I'll get back to that in just a bit. But first, let's talk about what we know. So at the time, they were waiting on DNA testing to confirm identity, which is why if her remains were found earlier this month, they're not telling us until now. They were waiting for DNA testing to confirm identity, and that DNA has now come back, and sources say it confirms that the remains are indeed that of 9-year-old Melodee Buzzard. And with that confirmation, her mother, Ashley Buzzard, who has not been helping police at all, has now been taken into custody this morning. Again, according to the New York Post, and I'm going to quote the New York Post here, that, quote, law enforcement, sources confirm that the young girl's body was found in an area where Melodee had traveled with her mother in October. It is believed that Melodee was killed and that she likely died in October before her disappearance and made headlines, end quote. So as of right now, Ashley Buzzard, the mother who was taken into custody this morning in California, has not been officially listed yet as booked into jail. We've checked. And law enforcement hasn't publicly released the charges that they've taken her in to custody with. So the Santa Barbara County Sheriff's Office, what have they told us? They've been extremely tight-lipped, which I understand and I respect. But they have announced that they will be holding a press conference today at 2 p.m. Pacific time, which we will be here for. We will be watching that live together for those of you that are here so that we can understand more. And we will have a link to that live at the end when I conclude here. But before we do that, and before we go further, because I have a few more thoughts I want to share, but I do want to back up and give context for anyone who is just joining this case, because this story has been filled with red flags from the very beginning. Melodee Buzzard lived in Vanderburg Village, California, and back in October, a school administrator contacted authorities after Melodee had been absent for an extended period of time. And when deputies went to the home on Mars Avenue, so a welfare check, right? That's what happens when somebody's concerned, a welfare check. Melodee wasn't there. So they couldn't find the little girl they went to.
Okay, so let's move it towards the end.
Little Melodee, according to law enforcement, earlier this month, we don't know what day yet. We have no idea what day. And that.
See, we can see here, something got through. Lovely as usual. So I think it says, so shut the fuck up. So people are talking about the way she looked. People were tipped off to the fact that she was live, and the moderating had to get stronger and stronger. Grayson was there 2 hours until the press conference. The hidden gems were in full force.
They didn't share this, but they were waiting for DNA results, and allegedly, according to sources, once they confirmed through DNA testing that this was indeed Melodee Buzzard, they went to Ashley Buzzard's home in California and arrested.
We see people were starting to, they weren't prepared for this. People were starting to, talk a little bit more. Down here, we see, thanks to the mods for keeping the conversation civil. They were really having to increase the moderation at this point.
Arrested her this morning. We do not yet know the charges. We do not yet have that information. And there are so many unanswered questions. According to sources, the remains were found in Utah, but we're waiting to find out where and how and what. And so there are a lot of unanswered questions, and this is not the news that we wanted to bring you. There was hope. There was some hope. Dr. John, my co-host, has also discussed some thoughts on this case, and we will share in the description of this episode, as well as in pinned comments, all of the episodes and videos we have done on this case to try to bring awareness to Melodee Buzzard's disappearance, to find this little girl. And this is not the ending we wanted, but we will be following it. We will be live with the press conference. Thank you for putting that press conference, 2 p.m. Pacific time. We will cover it here live at Hidden True Crime, hoping for answers. I believe that they will share a lot with the public. In my opinion, I think that when they ask for the public's help, they're more willing to share more information. So I believe that we will learn a lot this afternoon. We will be following it. And yeah, may justice be served for this little girl. She was so beautiful. So thank you everyone for being here. We will be back with any other breaking news beyond the press conference as well, because we are following this very closely here. So if they're hit notifications and hit subscribe, as well as the notifications and the bell, because if more does come down, we will be sharing more and it might be unexpected. We're following this closely. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
So I think it's quite possible that a lot of people don't even know what's going on with Lauren. They had heavily moderated this chat to the point where it was moving at a snail's pace. So then the second live happened and oh shit. Sorry. Oops, didn't mean to swear either. Hold on. Okay, so then the second live, you can hear here, I'm listening to my music here. This is the type of music I listen to while I'm working up my lives. To not go crazy. To stay calm and peaceful and not let Lauren truly bother me. But I wanted to show you here, I caught this moment when they had to change their moderation. Hold on.
I believe that they will share a lot with the public. In my opinion, I think that when they ask for the public's help,
They had to
they're more
change
willing
the
to share
moderation
more
to
information.
even
So I
heavier.
believe that we will learn a lot this afternoon. We will be following it. And yeah, may justice be served for this little girl. She was so beautiful. So thank you everyone for being here. We will be back with any other breaking news beyond the press conference as well, because we are following this very closely here. So if they're hit notifications and hit subscribe, as well as the notifications and the bell, because if more does come down, we will be sharing more and it might be unexpected. We're following this closely. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Okay, it'll do it in just a second. There. So you can see Hidden True Crime turned on subscribers only mode. Only channel subscribers of 10 minutes or longer can send messages. They had forgotten to put this one on subscriber only mode, and they quickly did that. These were some of the messages while people were waiting. It wasn't really anything. This one they got a better control of. Like, I feel like the first one was like maybe a trial run to see how they could do it. Then they went to subscribers only mode for 30 minutes. So you had to be a subscriber for 30 minutes or longer in order to chat. Like I told you, the moderation got thick and deep and thick. Can you imagine? Are they going to be able to withstand that amount of, like, I don't know. It's a lot. It's a lot to have to look at. We can't see it, but I know that they saw it. We know that they saw whatever was being said, because Lauren got more and more rattled in her second live. The second one. So this was I was waiting. There were 919 people waiting. So I was just filming. This was her popping on. Hold on, let me get the volume back up.
Start.
I also had to go and take my sound down. I forgot I had the music. So It takes me a minute.
We'll be back with more updates.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. Before we get underway,
So this is the chat. I made it a little bit bigger for us.
I do want to let you know that there are going to be two things that are going to be new on.
This was, I increased the volume to 400, you guys. Her volume was so low during this live, and people in chat were telling her, you can see here, I increased the volume. Oh wait, let's make sure it's up to 400.
We will be watching that.
Oh wait, that's the wrong one. Sorry. Sorry, guys. It's this
and
one.
The other one is an updated timeline. Will we be sending that out after the press conference?
See, you can see I've got the volume up to 400. If we put it just to what Lauren had, this is how low it was. And she was yelling at her chat, like in the text. She was like, turn your volume up. It's as loud as I can go. Turn your volume up. And this was as loud as she was saying it would go.
Of Ashley Buzzard, while others focused on the painstaking collection, analysis,
I mean,
verification of
amazing,
physical,
Grayson.
digital, and forensic evidence.
And then that was at one point I popped over to Grizzly True Crime to see if their volume was that low, and it wasn't. It wasn't. It was whatever they were doing, because sometimes it does do that. Like whoever is filming it, the volume is so low that, you know, whatever, but that's not what it was. It was Grayson. Yeah, see? Here I popped over to Grizzly. So just as a example.
Whether that be laboratory services, running down leads in other states, or other investments.
Damn it. I'm sorry, you guys. Gosh darn it. I'm bitching about her and I'm not much better. But I also don't have 300 subscribers and a producer, so. Where is it? There.
Las Vegas, Omaha, Salt Lake City, San Diego, and San Francisco, as well as numerous other local partners provided.
I've said fair use. Don't worry. This is
Acknowledging today. Because this case is now moving through the court system, there are
this was so loud.
limits on what additional detail we can share publicly at this time. That sustained effort was
I don't know. Anyway, just as an example. So we're really, I'm just trying to pay attention to chat. She was yelling at chat. People were, you could tell it's being moderated because it's barely moving. That was another reason why I went over to Grizzly, because I was just like curious. I wonder how many Grizzly had. She had about 6,000 people in her chat, and her chat was flying. But there's certain times where the chat doesn't even move, and she's got
despite those attempts,
2,500 people at this point, and the chat's not moving.
And relentless in their pursuit of the facts. Whenever obstacles were placed in their path, they overcame them. When cooperation was withheld, they relied.
Have a great Christmas Eve, Just Me. Thank you for stopping by. Huge difference in volume.
Determination did not fade. They followed the facts wherever they led, and that ultimately is what brought clarity and resolution to this case.
And I'm not upset about the
Now,
fair
to go
use,
over a
honey. If
timeline
that's why you think you
of
have
the
to
major
leave,
developments in this
it's all
case.
good. I know you're trying to help.
Before I do that, though, before I walk through it, I want to thank, in particular, and we'll go into some further detail of our allied agencies that helped us, but two in particular that I want to recognize at the start of this, and that is the Federal Bureau of Investigation, which has been with us throughout the investigation and has helped us not only in our regional area, but also out of state. And I particularly want to thank Sheriff Micah Gully and the members
So
of the
we're not
Wayne
going to
County
watch it
Sheriff's
all
Office
because the volume is
in
so
Wayne County,
horrible.
Utah.
I mean, it's so horrible, and I couldn't even hear it
that
really.
assisted
I was
us
up close
with
to
their
it, and I
partnership,
was very
their
focused
professionalism,
on
and
chat.
their commitment to this
Just a
case.
few things that, like
This
the
level of
screenshots I
coordination among
showed you, that got through.
jurisdictions found in
You could
Utah
tell
were a
the chat
familial
moved at a
DNA
slow
match
pace.
to Ashley
A
Buzzard.
lot of people didn't even know what was going on.
Today, December
They really
23rd,
didn't know.
2025,
There weren't
members of the Santa
hardly
Barbara
any
Sheriff's Office
stickers
and the
that
FBI
came through.
served search and arrest
There were a
resources
few here
to
and
this
there.
investigation. And I can confidently speak on behalf
The
of
chat
all
barely moved.
FBI employees when I say that our collective hearts.
That was plotted and planned by her own.
It gets louder, obviously, when she comes back on screen because it's, so there was that. So let's listen to her when she comes. She gets more and more increasingly nervous. We're gonna really pay attention towards the very end because she does something at the end that's very interesting to me, and I didn't catch it. It seems to be gone over on the YouTube, and so then I went over to the chat transcripts to see if I could catch anything, and I can't, but I need you guys because I think maybe you'll be able to catch what she's saying, but I'm getting ahead of myself. So she comes back on and starts talking about Melodee.
I saw a lot of comments saying how shocked they were, and I am with you. We still don't have a motive of why a mother would do this to her 9-year-old daughter. As of right now, police say it looks like this mother, Ashley Buzzard, acted alone in murdering her little girl by, it's hard for me to even say it, by shooting her in the head. They found cartridges. They have not found the murder weapon, but they found extended cartridges, or a cartridge in the car and home, from what I could tell. It looks like 2 photographers in Wayne County, Utah. That's southeast, or just southeast.
Also, if anyone is thinking about doing where you buy the super sticker to get your comment through, you don't have to be a subscriber to do that. So you can do it without. I chose not to subscribe at all. So you can see that I didn't subscribe. You can see I couldn't say anything, nor did I didn't want to, because I'm not going to be, I don't know. I just didn't want to talk in their chat because I would have gotten blocked right away anyway. I'm sure they've seen my stuff, but yeah.
Of central Utah. We'll pull up a map in just a little bit, show you a little bit more. But first, December 6th, just 2 people.
I don't have her sped up at all. You can tell she's slurring and she's talking really slow.
Photography. It's a beautiful area, an unincorporated community in Utah. Came across decomposed remains, and they could tell this was a female, and the Wayne County medical examiner took over, and yesterday DNA testing confirmed that this was Melodee Buzzard, 9-year-old Melodee Buzzard, that she had been shot in the head. You heard reporters at the news conference ask if she acted alone. The answer is yes. You heard them say that she has been charged. Ashley Buzzard has been charged with first-degree murder, no bail, the murder of her daughter. This is a filicide.
This woman is named Lauren Matthias.
An unusual crime, and that they have not again discovered they do not have the murder weapon, but that the cartridge matched what they found at the scene, and that they believe that the crime happened shortly after
She can't keep her eyes off of chat either. She just can't. She can't focus.
Melodee and her mother, Ashley Buzzard, were seen on the Utah-Colorado.
And when chat slows down to a crawl or it doesn't move at all, they're deleting a lot.
Border.
At this point, they have 3,744 people in their chat. Just keep that in mind. They've got nearly 4,000 people and it's barely moving.
May justice be served. No motive still. A lot to unpack. Let's pull up the map if we could. I know I've mentioned Panguitch, Utah a lot as an unusual detour they seem to take. And oddly, this is close to Panguitch. Let me tell you a little bit about this area. So Caneville it's an unincorporated community in central Wayne County, Utah. The community is located east of Capitol Reef National Park. Again, as I've shared, this area, it's Red Rock country, it's rural. So it's near, just east of Capitol Reef National Park, west of Hanksville. It sits along the Fremont River and Utah State Route 24. The charges are going to be in California, despite the crime happening in Utah. We learned at the very end there, because the trial will be in California, because the intent to do this, meaning premeditation of a mother, happened in.
I mean, the amount of moderation and hoops that they went through to keep this moving, they must have had to put the chat on such a delay, the
state of California, Lompoc, California, Mars Avenue. Let's see if we can pull up that. Actually, so we're gonna get back to that. We have some technical.
They won't get any new subscribers if they keep pushing it where you have to be a subscriber for 30 minutes or more to chat. I mean, they'll just get the same people over and over again. But maybe that's what they want.
Technical difficulties. We actually have the route that police, the law enforcement requested the public to look at, and then where Melodee was found. We'll do that in just a little bit, but a few other things on the timeline.
Also, I noted when people were saying that they couldn't hear, and she was telling them to turn their volume up and to, just deal with it themselves. A lot of people were saying, I can just hear fine. I can hear. It's just fine for me. That just drives me crazy when you're trying to figure out a situation and the brown nosers are like, I hear fine. It's all good. It's perfect. It's perfection. Her farts smell like roses.
They went over the timeline in the press conference. I'm just going to go over that again really quickly here. So on October 14th, 2025, a school administrator recognized that Melodee was schoolwork was not being picked up, request a welfare check. I want to compliment that school administrator. A lot of people said, why is it that nobody noticed beforehand? I want to point out that Melodee's mother, Ashley, did everything.
That's actually a good point. Maybe that's the direction they're going to go towards. Maybe they'll have to go that way to without a crystal ball kind of direction reporting.
Everything she possibly could to isolate her daughter away from family, away from friends, away from school, homeschooling, everything. They say this was a premeditated act that was plotted and planned by her own mother. And so I actually want to say that school administrator did a good job noticing and requesting that welfare check.
I thought if we had time, we'd go over and look at Jay's video and the commentary on Vinny's for allowing her up on his show, if we have time.
October 15th, a search warrant happened. And then subsequent to that search warrant, they learned that Ashley and Melodee had gone to rent a car for that road trip, and they were both wearing wigs. And then they shared that with the public on October 26th.
See, people are here saying it's loud as F. Get headphones, I guess. People are still saying like they can't hear it. It was bad. They somehow fixed it. Probably YouTube fixed it in the recording and made it louder for them. It will sometimes do that, but it's just horrible. I don't know how Grayson's a producer. How did Grayson become the chosen producer?
Second, on October 24th through 2025, law
She's all out
enforcement
of sorts.
updated the timeline
She is.
and pointed out that they were seen shortly after, or updated the timeline, and then they've realized that timeline happened to show Melodee and Ashley at the Colorado-Utah border. They believe the crime happened shortly after the stop on that border. They had another search warrant where they searched the car, the Mars residence, and they found that extended cartridge case as well as ammunition. On December 6th,
which is so interesting because yesterday or the day before, I don't know, I'm getting my days mixed up about this, but we were reading over on Reddit, and an ex Hidden Gem said she joined the Patreon, and the first one she joined, she said that Lauren did this whole live where she denied ever having Botox. So she can't keep up with her lies.
2025, two photographers in Wayne County came across a decomposed.
It's almost like I've slowed her down, but I haven't.
Body. And it was just west of Canesville. Here is the map. So Caneville, excuse me. I keep saying Canesville. It's Caneville, an unincorporated community just southeast of central Utah. So here is a map. So the top line is the line, let me clarify that, law enforcement.
So the chat is now creeping to a, it's not moving. They've got 3,622 people in chat now, and just the same people.
Originally gave the public. Okay, so
she's not really answering any questions in chat because what's probably happening is all these are having to be deleted. And when you don't know this, but behind in the back end, when you delete something, it will still be there. It'll just show that it was deleted. It'll fade. So they probably got all of this here, all these things deleted, and there just would be no way she could read. So she's not answering any questions whatsoever.
Chris's home, where we've marked his home, that is Green River, Utah, where police say that the pair was last seen together, mother and daughter.
That is not moving at all.
And that would be the typical line. As you can see, where Panguitch is right there. That is Panguitch right here at the very bottom. Is sort of this moment where I've pointed out that there seemed to be a detour on, the quickest rate. See, you see
her face, her appearance has become so distressing, and she did it to her face. She did this to herself. And if you're only worried about the context of her character, it plays into the context of her character, of her inability to be secure with herself, and the destruction of her face right in front of us. And some people expect people not to mention these type of things, which if it's not for you, then you don't have to talk about it. You absolutely do not have to talk about it. There's such freedom in that. But if you're just looking for the context of her character, well, the context of what she's doing to her face goes directly to her character. Human beings are visual creatures. We do different things to ourselves so that we be noticed and yet scream, "Don't talk about me." Makes no fucking sense. Sorry. I'm still in a bad mood. I'm a little ouchy today. And I'm trying not to be. I'm sorry. But I really feel like I'm not going in deep on her. I'm just reporting on what's being said. And if it's not for you, then it's not for you. But I bet you there's things that are for you that aren't for me. Do I bust into you and say, blah, 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 doesn't matter? No. Because it doesn't matter to me doesn't mean it shouldn't matter to you. So, not really sure how we got into this day and age, but here we are.
Cedar City to the left, that would be the Beaver, Heroin, Cedar City on the very left. That would be the typical route back to California.
She didn't yell,
she
typed it, and I already read it to you guys, what she said to the chat. You got to go back maybe, said it about 20 minutes ago.
Second, yeah, well, we have a bigger version, but here we go. Oh, further, yeah. But instead, they did this detour to Panguitch. See where Panguitch is? And this is the original line. The top line is the original line that law enforcement shared with the public. But we now know
it gets worse. Her confidence gets worse and worse as she goes.
That actually Caneville was where Melodee was found. So there is a slight difference, but nonetheless, it's still that detour. It's still that moment. Panguitch is not a typical place on this route. And then you see that there's St. George, Utah, further down, Las Vegas, Nevada, Prim, Nevada. This
is what told me that I kind of suspected that the child wasn't alive anymore because of this weird route that was taken. I mean, that makes no sense. And that she came back without her and that she was in the desert.
The law enforcement had mentioned all the way back to Lompoc, California. Now go to the closer, okay, so this version again.
And what do you think about the fact that she's being arrested in California and not Utah, even though the crime happened in Utah? Do you think Utah just doesn't want another case? And people were also talking about how Lauren wouldn't make it out if she's going to go report on this case, that she wouldn't make it with the California news reporters. What do you guys think about that idea that the California newsroom will rip her apart?
You saw the wider shot. Let's go close in now. So again, Panguitch is the detour. The typical place would have been going past on the very left. You see Beaver, Parowan, Cedar City. But when police mentioned Panguitch, Utah, it's by other national parks. That was a red flag for us here at Hidden True Crime. We thought that's not a usual route. And everybody wondered if something happened there. And again, that place marked home on the map here is where they were last seen. And law enforcement do believe that the crime happened shortly after that, which makes sense. And as you can see, where Caneville is, that is where she was found. And so there is a very slight difference between the route law enforcement shared with us. That makes sense. This is very rural, isolated places, and it is not abnormal for GPS or.
So it was really kind of like really hard for me because chat was barely moving. I knew it was being moderated. I was praying at this point someone was going to do I'm not blaming anyone. I should have done it myself, right? One of those trying to send, somebody else to do my dirty work, but I was hoping a super sticker would fly out, but it didn't. And she was really into showing this map. She really got into the map for some reason, which, I mean, it is very interesting, but I don't know. We just did the press conference.
or cell service to just stop in this area.
Wouldn't you have just talked about, I'm going to speed this up too. We can tell she's talking really slow. So I just wanted you guys to see she was slow talking. But like there was just a press conference. We just seen a perp walk with the mom. Why are we not going through that? But instead she took a long time and went over the map.
Mother would do this to her 9-year-old daughter. As of right now, police say it looks like this mother, Ashley Buzzard, acted alone in murdering her.
Wait a minute. Why did it get so quiet?
Little girl. Why? I like it. It's hard for me to even say it. By shooting her in the head. They found cartridges. They have not found the murder weapon, but they found extended cartridges.
Did it go down? Why did it get so quiet? I don't know.
In Utah, came across decomposed remains, and they could tell this was a female, and the Wake County medical examiner took over, and yesterday DNA testing confirmed that this was Melodee Buzzard, 9-year-old Melodee Buzzard, that she had been shot in the head. You heard reporters at the news conference ask.
Oh, I know why. I'm in the wrong spot. That's why.
I do want to
Again, Caneville, an unincorporated, unincorporated community in central Wayne County, Utah, United States. Again, just east of Capitol Reef National Park. Can we put up the wider map really quickly again one more time? I want to see. Okay, there it is. Is that the Santa Barbara?
Sorry, I got lost. Hold on a second, you guys.
With photo.
You know what? I need to take a quick break and find my place here because I got lost. Let's take a quick break and do some music and because I'm getting really intense here. So let's take a little break, listen to some music. This is my favorite music that's come out lately. This is from Hidden True Crime, Jay, or from Everyday with Jay. She said that she made it into the top 100 hype with this. It's a great song. Have you heard it yet? Merry Christmas, everyone that's just joining us. Be sure to hit that like button. We are going over yesterday's Hidden True Crime live report. I copied some of their text and was in the chat and videoed it, and we're going through it just to see what's up. But we're going to take a quick little break and listen to some of John's nuts roasting over an open fire. Ugh.
John's nuts roasting on an open fire, false alarms nipping at your nose, holiday spirals climbing higher, while the truth quietly tiptoes. Everybody knows a grift and mistletoe help to make the outrage bright. Checking Reddit with their eyes aglow, clicking live again tonight. They know that Lauren's on her way with a brand new face and claims to say. Soft voice, grave tone, camera tight, selling panic wrapped in I'm right. Then there's Grayson typing fast, calling cops like Christmas past. Murdered at dinner with righteous cries. Watch that narrative fly, fly, fly. And John stays calm, plays the role, nods along while the storyline rolls. Paper trails that don't exist, but invoking the FBI sells the twist. Everybody knows a badge and a bluff help to make the season tense. Nothing says joy like calling the law over an internet offense. They swear it's real, they swear it's true. Santa's checking filings too. John throws his glasses as Grayson spies to see if their shady lawyer qualifies. And so I'm offering this simple phrase for viewers from 1 to 92. Although it's been said so many times, many ways receipts matter. Merry Christmas to you.
And Merry Christmas to you, Power Crew. Hey, by the way, have you checked to see if you're subscribed? Because I would love to have you part of the Power Crew, not just a viewer, part of the crew. So please subscribe. Okay, guys, so what do you think about what we've talked about so far? We're coming up into the home stretch of this. I did get myself organized. I had added a few things at the very end and I got myself lost. So I wanted to show you the very end of her live. I thought it was very interesting. And I want you to tell me if you can hear anything. So at the very end of her live, she was ready to go. She was ready to, you know, beat a beeline out of there. And she went into long depth with the map. And then she came here and chat really started glitching and slowing down. A few things got here and there. People were asking about what was wrong with her face. I can only imagine what else they were saying behind
This area.
And she gets increasingly more and more agitated.
And what they thought. This is Caneville. You can understand why there would be photographers out there.
She's barely talking. The chat is barely moving.
And this is a
doing a lot of you can tell she's reading the chat. Whatever's being said, she's not liking. She's not seeing what any of her gems are saying, by the way. She's not replying to any of them.
Caneville from above. This is how small it is. And that is the Fremont River. Yeah, there you go. That's Caneville.
She went on and on about this map. A lot of sighing, a lot of that, and the chat's not even moving. By just the chat's not moving, so they are deleting, and whatever she is upsetting her is happening behind the scenes.
There's a lot to take in, so I'll be doing that. And
I was pointing out here, it's at 3,605 and chat's not moving at all.
I'll certainly be discussing this with Dr. John. And yeah, we will.
Because they're having to read these long sentences to make sure they're okay to get through.
I'll share more soon. But may justice be served. So, Melodee, you will not be forgotten. So, thank you, everyone. Thank you. Yeah. Very remote area. All right. We will be back with more soon. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you.
What does she say right there, you guys? It's not over here. In this one, and this is also the one where she got rid of the chat. It's not here at the very end.
Thank you. Yeah. Very remote area. All right. We will be back with more soon. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you.
So
today's guest is a.
So what is it that she says here? I'll do it again.
Thank you. Yeah. Very remote area. All right. We will be back with more soon. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you.
She was saying, I'm just, and then it got cut off. So that's what I got. I do take the influence into consideration. It does not excuse them, just for something to note. Listen, you guys, if they had talked about Lauren and Lauren Matthias' poor treatment of Gigi, that's what we would be talking about today, if that had gotten through. But what got through during these lives was about the way she looked. So that's why we're talking about it. I am reporting on what was being talked about her. We're not going in deep about the way she looks. We're saying that, yes, maybe it's MS, maybe it's stress, maybe it's steroids, maybe it's alcohol. We don't know. I do not know. I'm just reporting. You want me to play it one more time? Sure. Let me get my face out of the way. And I can even, there. Wait.
Thank you. Yeah. Very remote area. All right. We will be back with more soon. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you.
She was just done. She was just done. I wish it hadn't cut off at that rate, that exact. Area. But she didn't even know that she was still being recorded, I don't think.
All right. We will be back with more soon. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you.
Now, I have a strong suspicion that what Lauren's going to do is say that she's having a flare-up, because I don't think she can hide the fact that there is something wrong with her face. Even the loving people are worried because something is wrong with her face. And it's the only thing that got through, but it was one of the big things that people were asking. Over on Reddit, they were talking about it. About the way she looks. And this person says, I promise you the last thing I am concerned about are picking on Lauren's look. I am just shocked she keeps pumping out videos. I am not subscribed, but I checked on her page often to see what's going on, because I'm honestly curious if she is just going to ignore this or keep going on like nothing is happening. Now, I did watch a couple minutes of her video, and I also want to say a lot of people were like, oh, I didn't want to go over there and watch it. But I will say this, that if you go over to somebody's video and just click on it for a few seconds, that can be bad for them too. It will tell the algorithm that too many people are clicking on it and clicking away fast, and it won't recommend it. So, I mean, don't feel bad if you go over there. I mean, like if you go over there, you know, just go over there, but you know, just know that that can harm a channel too if you just click on it for a second and then leave. That's bad. That tells the algorithm you know like, and yeah, so don't feel bad about it. Where was I on this? And I'm honestly curious if she is just going to ignore this or keep going on like nothing is happening. Now, I did watch a couple minutes of her video, and she has a different tone, in my opinion. There are no more hey gems and lives, and also I was caught off guard when she came on screen. I'm posting this only temporarily, so no one has to go give clicks, but I'm just curious if you all think she is okay. Once again, she looks totally different. It's as though the opposite has happened with the eyebrows and they went down. I've wondered that too. Is it like such a big difference because of the eyebrows? Because the eyebrows can do a lot to your face. Maybe I'm just insane, but looks different, and I'm not making fun of her. It's just a stark contrast. Or are the eyebrows darker? Someone help me out, because something is different. I'm an observable person, so that's the only reason I notice it. The chin implant is still trying to jump out of her skin. She made her brows less arched, but put chapstick on those dry lips, faces. Well, she eats her lips. She's got a bad habit of eating her lips. So I don't think she can keep them. It's just a bad habit. And if she gets some filled lips get drier than non-filled. She is almost unrecognizable here. I honestly thought it was a bad AI at first, then thought she is morphing into Grayson. Oh, you know, she does kind of look more like Grayson. Honestly, her brows do appear lower and her nose and face look fuller. New brows plus alcoholic bloat would be an educated guess. I thought the same. That is an AI augmented image. The perky real reporter facade is gone. Nothing left except looking like a hostage in front of the camera. Yeah, she doesn't look happy. It's like her last effort for a few more clicks. I don't think she's going anywhere, though. I think she's going to push through it. Don't you guys? I mean, do you guys think she's going anywhere? I think she's got the stamina. I don't think she's been liked much in her life. This is just all alleged, my opinion, for entertainment and educational purposes only. We urge you to go out there and do your own. I don't think she's happy. Oh, hey, Katie. I've been enjoying your content. I'm so glad you're back, by the way. If you guys want good content, go over to Rabbit from the Closet. She has started covering it. I worked with her once on the Gypsy Rose Blanchard case. She had some good insight in Gypsy Rose as well. But you don't think she's gonna make it? I don't know. She reminds me a little bit. Somebody said she has Katie Joy vibes, and she does. She kind of reminds me. Thank you. I really appreciate that. So I just think that other people are noticing it. I think that if it was a birth defect of some kind, I absolutely would not be up here talking about it. But she absolutely has done something to herself. And I actually I'm very open. I do stuff to my face. I'm 55 years old. I have put threads in my face when I was in my 30s. I did some injections. I did Botox once, didn't really like it. But you have to make a decision. You can either age gracefully and maybe do a few things here and there. I don't like my marionette lines. That's what I focus on the most in my face. I get these, the smile lines. I don't like them. And so I focus on those. That's what I do the most work on. And then I let the rest happen. But it's not easy being in front of the camera because people say some weird shit. I've been told my face is too long. I don't know. I'm waiting for people to talk about my teeth because I'm really most self-conscious about my teeth. But you also have to be able to have a certain confidence in yourself because, like I said, human beings are human beings and we notice differences. It's like our genetic makeup. We do it. And I'm not going to sit up here and make fun of a disabled person, but I will talk about somebody who does it to themselves. I will. I have made that decision. I will not be shamed for talking about something that's put in my face. Just like I won't be shamed for talking about Lauren when she did a 9.5-hour live and put it in my face. I wasn't driving down the street one day and, trolling her neighborhood. Like, what can I get from Lauren from Hidden True Crime? Just like, like her in those texts that we covered where she wasn't getting anything out of Gigi. So she was going to go to Mandy and get the info, and latch on to her. That's disgusting to me. And I've had it happen to me where I've been latched upon. And it doesn't feel good. So that's what's being said about it over on Reddit. I do like Reddit. Some of the other things that I wanted to talk about, shifting gears just a little bit. What else do I have up here? I thought this was interesting because I'm truly interested in all of this because I find that the things that really get me the most out of all of this are the things that I studied the most in college. Like, I'm very offended by Dr. Yan and his psychosocial stuff that I never realized, like, he's putting out bad info. Like, he's making it so that if somebody were to need a psychologist, they might think twice because of Dr. John, in my opinion. This is my opinion. I'm offended by Lauren's use and abuse of the legal system so that, in my social work, I've worked at 2 domestic shelters in my life, and I've had to go to a domestic shelter for my own safety and life. And I find it very offensive that she's legal weaponizing that so that a person that may really be being abused might second guess it and be like, maybe I'm not being abused because, like, what Lauren, or, just making a mockery of the whole system. Or if somebody really needs a personal protection order, the judge might think twice about it. Like, oh, it's just these YouTubers again causing problems. I'm the most offended by these things, but I would truly like to know what offends you the most about this case. What is it that you find egregious? This person says, calling it this mean girl drama or cat fight offends me a ton, which I have called it that. Because I like to laugh and have fun, and mean girl can sometimes be jokey, but in all honesty, I do know that this is very serious. To me, it's very serious. I wouldn't be covering it if it wasn't very serious to me. If it doesn't, it's hitting me. It's hitting a lot of, like, past wounds, friend wounds, coworker wounds, whatever wounds, it's scratching those wounds for me. So I'm covering it because I say this often. I think a lot of us have a Lauren Matthias of some sort, or a Dr. John or a Grayson in our past. And it just scratches that wound, opens it up. I'm tired of this misogynistic stereotype being thrown around, because what's happening here is way more worse than that. This is vile, evil stuff where despicable, dangerous people like LM destroy others' lives. Can you imagine how many people's lives she's destroyed before this whole ordeal that we will never even hear about? Yeah, I think about that. I do think about that. And I also think about maybe the only justice we're going to get out of this is her discomfort. Like, looking at the live yesterday, she was very uncomfortable. They had to go through a lot of moderation. And that would be a lot of stress. Being in front of you guys, I still get stressed. I get, I still get the little butterflies when I know I'm going to do a live with you guys. I get a little butterflies. And then to be in front of you and then to be tore down that way, which I'm not saying she didn't deserve it. I'm just saying maybe the justice that we're going to get is just that she's going through this discomfort, because I really don't think Lauren, and I think at this point, John and Grayson too, are people that are able to realize that they caused this. Maybe down the road, I don't think today or tomorrow for sure. Maybe down the road, I don't know, like hope springs eternal. But because for me, I am really trying to disengage from outcomes, because I get disappointed and then I think, what's the point? Because I always feel like there's got to be a point, but sometimes there just isn't a point, or you get the point later on, like you're in the middle of the lesson and you're just not going to get the point during the lesson. Maybe that's what's happening, but I'm always trying to, I don't know, my mind's always trying to figure out the whys. And it dawned on me, maybe this is the best it's going to get. And so I really wanted to bring you this, to present it to you and to let you decide how you feel about it. I know a lot of people are unhappy about the direction of looking at the way she looks. And I wouldn't have taken that direction if that's not the direction her chat had taken, right? Like if they had been talking about Grayson's calling the police, that's what we would have been talking about. If they had been talking about Dr. Yan's bunk theory that all it takes is a empty soda can and a hand to crush a neck, it's that easy. I would have been reporting on that, right? So it just so happens that that's what got through. Let's see what the people and what other people, let me see. Are you guys talking about what has been bothering you the most? Let me go up and see. I've had them in my life a long time. Yeah, those kind of people using cops to act as personal security guards, misusing the courts because she has an overactive imagination and ego. Yeah, and using, also another thing, using their degrees, using their labels of who they are in society to influence police. They do that a lot. I find that very offensive. How many times have we heard Lauren is a for realsies, not one of us, tourist type of reporters. She's a real reporter. She plays for realsies, you guys. And Dr. Yan with his Princeton degree, I told you yesterday, I blocked out what he really is because it pisses me off. She says it so much. And if someone says something to me so much, I block it out. But what is he, a criminal psychologist? Is that what he is? Whatever he is. She says it all the time. They use their position in society or their perceived position in society to get ahead. And that bothers me. Hi. It bothers me that she videoed the victims' families and identified them coming out of the Daybell trial. The way she has treated Kresha and Kay and Larry, and now we see Summer, and I mean, comparing yourself to the victims, the dead victims. Her and John are predators. She stalks victims. Self-inflicted. Yeah, I want to look more into John. I want to look more into John. I'm always suspicious of people saying things over and over, trying to convince me. Yeah. Just like how she called Christina a stalker. I mean, they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. There's that. I don't know. But over on Reddit, let's see some of the things that are bothering them. I can find my way back. Where is it? Oops, I think I clicked off of it. I'm a mess today. I've been a mess lately with my skills. I'm sorry, you guys. Somebody mentioned I was all over the place yesterday, and I was like, yes, I was. Okay, well, anyway, I don't see it. Oh, wait, there it is. Oh, it's up there. Duh. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, you guys. I can only laugh at myself when I get this way. Okay. One more thing, guys. Look how beautiful Gigi is. She is beautiful. Gigi is a beautiful woman inside and out. And I don't think Lauren can handle it. And she also couldn't handle that Gigi wasn't buying Lauren's shtick, right? She wasn't falling for Lauren. So she was going to move on to Mandy. Okay, guys, do you want to actually go into the Melodee Buzzard case next and watch some Ashley Banfield? I think she had somebody up for her. Or we can go into over on Jay's channel. She captured some comments, some court TV comments, and they go in on Vinny regarding having Lauren up on panel. So I will let you guys decide what you want to go into next. Let me come over into chat, and actually I'm going to play a quick song, take a little break, get the bird moved over to his next activity so that we can keep going. So put a 1 in chat if you want to go over to Melodee Buzzard. Put a 2 if you want to go into the comments on Vinny having Lauren. And this is my favorite OG music. I love music. Olip did this Hidden True Crime, the musical. We're going to take a quick break. Be sure to give this live a thumbs up, guys. Helps me out so much. And I love you guys.
Hey, everyone.
I've never been more nervous for a life in my entire life, and I've done a lot of lives, and this is not a lie or a show that I ever wanted to do or ever thought I would have to do. And this has been ongoing for months. What I have been dealing with This is not drama. Hidden true crime doesn't get involved in drama. We stay very clear from that, and those of you that know us know that. So I hope that nobody calls this drama ever again. In fact, it's so real life what has been going on with my family and with me for months that I decided to go to where I felt would protect me. And that was the courts and legal. And I filed a civil stalking injunction. Somehow someone decided to let Wine Quine know about my civil stalking injunction. Wine Quine decided that they deserve to have cameras in the courtroom while I am explaining what my family has been going through for months. That Wine Quine, I don't know, is it a slow true crime month? They thought that my family's pain should be live streamed on their trial channel. I am a limited public figure. I'm just a mom who has a YouTube channel. I'm not Johnny Depp, I'm not Amber Heard, I'm not Gwyneth Paltrow. I am a mother trying to protect my family, and I am a journalist who has never ever in my life heard of anyone streaming of civil stalking injunctions. Because of what Wine Quine did, I had to dismiss my civil stalking injunction. And I find it disgusting that anyone would want to do that to me or my family. I wanted to keep this private. I wanted to keep my pain and the bullying and the abuse and the harassment and the defamation and the pain that I have been dealing with behind the scenes for months. I wanted to keep it private, not live stream to millions of people watching Wine Quine. I'm gonna take back my narrative, and I'm gonna own my narrative, and I'm gonna tell you everything tonight. We're gonna go through every filing. We're gonna go through a lot. My hand has been forced. I am very uncomfortable sitting here. Do you want to know wrath of a mother? I am a limited public figure. I'm just a mom who has a YouTube channel. I'm not Johnny Depp. I'm not Amber Heard. I'm not Gwyneth Paltrow. I am a mother trying to protect my family, and I am a journalist who has never ever in my life heard of anyone streaming up civil stalking injunctions. Do you want to know wrath of a mother?
Here I am.
Best song ever. Although I do like Jay's new song too. That's a really good one. And while that song was playing, I did pop over to Jay's channel, and I do see that she's going to go live at noon. So in like an hour, she's going to go live. So you will have Jay to hang out with. I'm sure you guys will want to do that. I did make it so that the live would go right over to her channel after our live ends. I did see a lot of twos, so we're going to go over and take a peek at Jay's video. She supports us quite a bit, and so I just want you to know that like we do appreciate everything that Jay does for this case. She does great content, and we strongly support her as well. Okay, so she managed to catch information when Lauren went over into Vinny's live. I was so disappointed. Yeah, I love Jay too. Happy holidays. I was so disappointed when he had her on. I was sure that news sources weren't going to do this anymore, but I did read that Vinny kind of likes, pushback. He likes it. So it could be why he did it. Or do you think if there's any possibility at all that he doesn't know what's going on? Is there any possibility whatsoever, do you think? I don't know if I think there's he didn't know. I think it's more that he enjoys the pushback, which, I mean, it got engagement, that's for sure. some people don't mind getting the bad engagement. Like they think any engagement is good engagement. Like that's not for me. I don't want bad engagement. I mean, I don't mind occasionally doing like getting some kind of like engagement like that, but I could not handle. Like I said, I am a stressed out person anyway. I stress, and so it would be too much stress for me. But maybe one day I'll get there. I don't know. Or maybe I don't want to be that kind of person, right? Like I was so disappointed in Vinny for doing it. So personally, I hope he didn't know, but I can't see how he couldn't know.
What the fuck?
I love that. I am shooketh.
A motive. He's saying, his wife's cheating on him. She left him with 3 kids really late one day. He's upset. Police are concerned that he might self-harm. All of these things going on. This is a guy that doesn't seem to be stable. He owns a business, yet at the same time doesn't have registration, doesn't have a license, doesn't have a license plate. It's very suspicious.
And as Dr. Jane Lacey, as Lauren,
you can see in here, they're not being moderated. Why doesn't she open her effing mouth? Her eyes are disappearing. Is this new? That's another thing I wondered if it was new, because she's wearing this weird outfit here that she was wearing. She did the same thing in a recent outfit she was wearing. Let me show you the out. She's been wearing the same clothes over and over again, I've noticed. Like this outfit here, I'm just grabbing it. ChatGPT altered her face a little bit, but this one, she's been wearing this outfit quite a bit. We've been seeing this over and over again on the orange couch. And we saw that other outfit, this weird, I've got too much up. This weird, whatever this is, she likes to wear this kind of weird drapery kind of stuff, which I don't like. I am a fan of Paisley. I like Paisley, but I don't know. So I just wonder if it's been pre-recorded, if this was because she was covering the case, and if they just had done a recording, like had done a past recording with her interview.
A motive. He's saying, his wife's cheating on him. She left him with 3 kids really late one day. He's upset. Police are concerned that he might self-harm. All of these things going on. This is a guy that doesn't seem to be stable. He owns a business, yet at the same time doesn't have registration, doesn't have a license.
I believe the orange couch is Grayson's couch. I believe it's in her apartment. This is just what I think. I can't tell you for sure, but it has been said that Grayson lives in a 2-bedroom apartment, and they've turned one of the rooms into her office, her studio, her recording, and that's where the orange couch is. It's just what I've been told. I can't verify it because I've never been there. I don't want people to think I'm like, just that's what I've been told.
Doesn't have a license plate. It's very suspicious.
and as Dr. Jane Lacey, as Lauren mentioned, in the probable cause affidavit from the October 11th incident, investigators said on this date of what we just.
This was 2 nights ago. So it would have been Monday night, I think, that this aired. And then on his show on Court TV, then it was posted to YouTube today, I guess. Wait. Or yesterday, it was posted to YouTube. We got comments to read through.
Just watched on October 4th.
She literally looks like she's wearing one of those suits that you pump air in. You know, like those sumo wrestler suits that you pump up the air in. She looks like she's all pumped up.
It kind of reminds me
Defendant expressed suicidal ideation.
You know, that Missy Elliott video where she's wearing that silver suit and it blows up? I think that's what she's talking about, and that's what it reminds me of, but only it's got the florals on it. The fleurs.
To police. Now, we didn't necessarily hear all that in the body cam. Pieces of it were redacted. But what are you taking out of this conversation he's having with police? What does it reveal to you?
I think it was in her I Can't Feel the Rain video, Missy Elliott's.
Well, Vinny, it reveals a lot, and I agree with Lauren.
So this lady, I guess, has some comments on her YouTube channel this morning as well. From what I heard.
A grandiose way of thinking, Vinny.
Yeah. Lauren, I want to zero in on a part of that conversation where
See, someone just said it. Missy Elliott suit.
where he's mentioning where he's sleeping. He said, I'm staying in my brother.
She looks like someone placed her head on a sofa. Kresha says, oh, wait, no, someone was talking to Kresha. Kresha was in there. I think there's serious shit going on. There obvious clout behind the LDS church, and it's all about Imagine with the LDS. And, you know, we had Kresha on the other day, and she mentioned how she feels an obligation to follow this case because she doesn't want, her family does not want Lauren to be a talk piece for her family. And she's worried about that, which I totally get. And then I imagine they're also worried that Lauren's trying to be a talk piece for another victim's family. And I'm sure I don't know if they feel, I think they probably do. Well, Kresha at least feels a responsibility to make sure that other people know who she truly is.
But I was at home. What do we know?
Football player shoulder pads. She figured out how to lower her eyebrows. Oh, wait, maybe this isn't pre-recorded because her eyebrows are lowered. That's a good point. Lauren, your lips have to have the ability to move to say words correctly.
No, about the situation at home. Was he out of the home? Were they sharing custody? Was there anything official going on? Has that been?
This person, that guy on screen, is pathetic. He is the perfect example of what's wrong with true crime on mainstream television. It's like really disappointing to me that he put her up there. She looks like the Robin Williams inspiration of Barbara Streisand and Starfire. Just like anything Robin Williams. Oh, I miss Robin Williams. I do LOL, but when I have to open an incognito browser, otherwise there nearly any comments coming up for me as they blocked. Well, I tried to open up the other one. So you guys, if you open up an incognito browser, will you get the blocked comments? Is that what that person's saying? Because I didn't know that. I'll try that next time.
Revealed yet?
That is part of
her head shrink. Is her head shrinking? We gotta look at this picture. It's like it's not as long, but I guess when you fill out your face, maybe it doesn't look as long. Oh, well, here's the outfit I'm talking about that she keeps getting recorded in, this one. With that red lipstick. Does she have the red lipstick on today? I think she does. Yeah, she does.
The mystery, but in all of the information that we've uncovered in true crime, we do have a significant other of the wife, and there is a looming divorce. So there does certainly seem to be a separation that's happening, although we can't be quite clear what it was leading up.
You know, because it just dawned on me, I had a fat face when I was little, and as I've lost, like when you age, you know, you lose all your good fat in your face. And so I don't have such a fat face now because I've lost all my good baby fat. So yeah. Also, and I'm trying to think of when I was on steroids, they really didn't puff my face up like that. So when I have my MSC, I mean, everybody's different, but when I have my MS flares, it always affects my walking. I walk into walls, I fall. I've had to go into rehabilitation to learn to walk twice again, and I lose my ability to talk. So maybe that's why she's speaking weird. I start to, well, I had to go into speech therapy. So I don't know. Maybe.
To the hike.
But I'm sure if she's going to come out and address it, she's going to blame it on MS and medications that she's having to take. I'm sure of it.
But that there were certainly
She did, Lindsay. Yes.
issues in the marriage leading up and a separation and perhaps now a significant other. But, where he was staying is a question. You wonder, who he's staying with? Is he staying with the brother? Is he staying in the car? And
we're all wondering that about you. Are you staying with Grayson? Are you staying at home? Are you in the hotel?
Very strange.
Where are you at? Look at Vinny. He's like, well,
I think it's very strange too that all these years nobody knew she had MS. That's why, I mean, I talk about it maybe too much. I try not to talk about it because when I have a flare, I have to talk about it. So I try not to talk about it when I'm not flaring. And I was just thinking, I haven't had an MS flare in a while. I have fibro flares all the time, but I haven't had an MS flare in a long time. And that's another thing. She might have other autoimmunes just because usually when you have MS, and then you have all of these other things underneath that umbrella because, I don't just have MS. I have MS. I have migraines. I have endometriosis. I have anxiety. I have depression. I just have all these things that come under that umbrella, and we don't hear any of it, which is strange. But not saying it's not not saying she doesn't have it, because there are people that suffer in silence. But again, she doesn't strike me as a suffer in silence kind of gal. But
nobody knows.
This whole thing about not driving. I wasn't driving the car. You can't do this because I wasn't driving, even though he's on the roadway and he's going to hike up to the top despite the poor weather. It's a very, very strange situation. And I agree with Dr. Lacey. He's not in his right mind. His world is unraveling.
Dr. Jenny Lacey, and I
don't like yours. Okay, so then they don't bring her back, I think, until the end. Oh, no, here she is right here. Here we go.
Oh, no, here she is. She's back.
Laura Mathias. We're looking at this.
666 likes. This isn't a blouse. She is wrapped in a comforter from the 70s. And I love floral prints too. So today is the 32nd anniversary of my first cancer intervention, and I'm a recovering addict, 4.25 years clean. I find Trisha to be highly insulting. Interesting. And congratulations. I know they're not in my chat, but it's always good to see people's winning in life.
And it's like, yeah, obviously this is extremely dangerous, right? And there wasn't the preparation for what all these.
So it's just, this is a different chat, not being moderated, obviously. So we can just envision that this is what was coming at her, and probably 10 times worse because it was directed right to her. People were saying exactly what they wanted to say, I bet, last night. Or I keep saying last night, but it was yesterday afternoon. HTC doesn't know any more than anyone else does. Yeah, and I found it really offensive that lady's like, you're the only one covering this today. Are you kidding? It's the biggest story of the day.
For what they all needed, including especially the children, the way
Then he'd be waiting for a full decompression for HTC. It's just very.
they were dressed, etc. Do we know anything about how he was able to get the kids out there? Why
profound,
he
Lauren.
was able to get the kids by himself out onto this hike? Did his wife know? Was there communication at all?
We've got Lauren has no authority to speak on this. Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Is there an extra person in her blouse? This is what was probably coming at her yesterday. But not, you know, she probably uses a bicycle pump to plump up her feature every morning.
That went, just 2 hours, the temperature dropped
20
20 degrees.
You think Vinny does not know about the law and crime? My opinion, her programming is breaking down. Some would say narcissist injury.
That's what she knew.
Holy hell, your face, she can't move it. I'm positive this was coming at her yesterday. Look at your face.
He started to communicate with his wife and say,
Look
"Hey,
at her
by the way,
face. I mean,
it's getting cold. I'm nervous." And she said, "Well, why don't you
Vinny
turn
must
around?
be
I'm
sorry
nervous
for
too."
her
And his
or
little-
unaware.
One of the children is also allegedly saying, "Hey, I'm scared. I'm
Lauren
and what
cheapskate,
what does Lauren
tithe
do? He
Lauren
keeps going.
cheapskate.
He keeps going, and then at one point he communicates with his wife, and he
The
says,
Zanny game
"It would be a
sounds
lot
strong
easier,
in this one.
you know,
Oh
if
God.
you're- or I don't know the exact term, but paraphrasing here, it's hard being only one parent on this 9-mile hike up this steep elevation." And so were they communicating? Yeah, she was saying, "Get home now. I'm getting stressed out." And what Micah chooses to do is keep going.
She's really a whiner when she talks. So that's why that one comment, I am sure they were talking about her. Why is she whining? Was she crying?
Going up this hike in the most treacherous of
Dear goodness, her face looks very swollen. Oh my God, I just looked at her face. It doesn't move. And she's so puffy. It's just everybody talks about her face. Orange couch alert. I wanted to go to Crime Con because I wanted to go on the go to the nerdy part. Long story, the price. So then the organizer. So this person was probably talking about what she did at Crime Con.
And yes, it is marked hard for experienced hikers.
Let me ask you, Zach, when nightfall comes, how does that change the dynamic of doing a hike like this?
I guess it depends on how high.
All right, let's see. Do they bring? Oh, there she is again.
Similar looking terrain. So everything that is up there is pretty much, you have to do a little bit of rock climbing.
All right, Lauren, I remember when my children were 2 years old.
Oh no, here we go.
If they're, I'm carrying them, and we're not going rock climbing. We're just I don't know, going to the park. And
more, I'm embarrassed on her behalf watching this. She is not coming across as professional or like she even knows where she is. Lauren's not coughing. What is happening? How can her face change even more?
if at the
people are talking to Kresha in the chat.
certain while, you're going to be carrying your children. This makes zero sense to me at all. I'm trying to gather how they were even able to do it. I mean, it's pretty amazing how the 4 and 8 and 2-year-old got as far as they did here.
People are talking about, I got to go back to see where she started podcasting from, the rest couch. She's not at home, I don't believe. So people are still trying to figure out, which I really believe this is Grayson's apartment in her second bedroom that she's turned into Lauren's studio. That's where I think it is. I can't say for 100 though. Shit. See, I just had that pain in my stomach again. I wonder what that is. Somebody mentioned that her chin implant, she has a chin implant for her butt chin. I'm glad I don't have to deal with anything like that. I'm glad I don't have a butt chin. I wouldn't have minded a gap in my tooth. I think those are kind of cute and pretty, those gaps in the teeth. But I'm really glad that I didn't have to. I looked up appendix, and your appendix is it said it's on your lower belly, like by your belly button, but lower. And this is by my belly button, but just like a few inches higher. and I've got like, I guess, heartburn. I guess that's what it is. So maybe it's just heartburn. But anyway, and it comes and it goes. It'll be fine, and then all of a sudden it just like socks me in the gut. But I've been bluesy. Maybe it's just another form of stress.
Right? I wonder too how they got so far. And you're right. I picture like a backpack, right? For even the 4-year-old, get the 4-year-old in a backpack, carry the 4-year-old. I don't know how they even made it as far as they did. And clearly when they started to go back down, they couldn't make it very far. They only got 600 feet, and then let's talk about the fact that he left them.
Now they're starting to talk about Lauren as Mother of the Year. Lauren HTC is never with her child. I'm surprised she can blink. Another one with zero self-awareness. People see through you, woman. Why don't you ever book Dr. Yawn? So, I mean, these were all the things I'm sure that were coming at them yesterday.
He left them. He taught his little girl how to do CPR and left them. All the way up high. And this is very high, the Utah mountains, ski Utah. We're talking, that type of elevation.
What? Very high at ski Utah. Huh? Look at this lady. Huh?
Crazy.
Let's get a what in there. Because I'm dramatic.
What?
It's ski Utah. What is this? A commercial for fucking the ski resorts?
He taught his little girl how to do CPR and left them. All the way up high. And this is very high, the Utah mountains, ski Utah. We're talking, that type of elevation where you go snow skiing. And he leaves.
It really sounds like she's on something. This person says as high as she is right now, she really is taking some kind of medication. When I take steroids, I don't slow down, I speed up, and she seems to be slowing down.
With hardly any clothing on. So, I don't know how they made it up. And all of a sudden he realized he couldn't get down. And we know that 2 of the 5 deputies didn't even feel like they could safely navigate the mountain to get to the kids. Grown men, they couldn't get there. I don't know how they got a 2 and 4.
That's not where you go skiing. You don't go skiing where people can't get to. Idiot. I can't stand her. She's slurring. She's probably taken her anxiety medicine and had a little cocktail pregame.
4-year-old up there. But this is very treacherous.
Zach, are you shocked that the kids were able to make it that far?
So I actually don't know how far they made it up.
Sorry, the little bird is screeching, but I am trying to think of is there any kind of medication? Because when I am doing my MS, when I'm having a flare, they will sometimes give me, I always say it wrong, Valium. Sometimes they give me Valium to relax my legs because I get restless legs. It's weird because I won't be able to walk, but I won't be able to stop moving them. And so maybe she is on some type of, this is just me guessing, trying to, believing that she has MS and what kind of medications she might take to help her out. Whoops.
Oh, she's insufferable.
That was done here from the eyes of law enforcement and the grown-ups in the room. This is absurd what took place here. Lauren, I just want to give us your bottom line on everything that happened here. What do you think motivated this?
Also, Katie's a nurse, you guys. So you should head over to her channel for sure. Katie, you should talk about if you get a chance because you would kind of know probably what she would be taking.
This extremely dangerous hike.
What I think right now, my perspective, my opinion, I think he was angry at his wife.
I wish
I think that text is very telling. It would be a lot easier if, there were 2 parents here. I think that speaks to motive. I think he was angry and I think he knew what he was doing. I do.
Lauren Matthias. Hidden True Crime Podcast. Thank you so much. Zach Rivera, thank you so much. And stay safe out there and have fun. For someone who's trained and ready, it's great, but not for a 2, 4, and 8-year-old. Coming up next.
There's her performance. Okay, let's scroll down and read some of these comments. We're going to sort by newest. Okay. Vinny. Seriously, Lauren Matthias, queen of hidden scams and lies and deception on this program, along with the unsuspecting, respectful, legitimate psychologist. How could you guys do this to the doctor? Lauren is a disgrace to the true crime community. Please do your research before giving lunatics an opportunity to promote themselves. Sad to see Lauren on. She abused Black Knight. Shout out. She abused the court system to get a restraining order for a woman who didn't stalk her. She's also abused the court system by filing false copyright claims against people that didn't steal her content. Also seems she plagiarized another creator's work. Carolina. Hey, Court TV producer, what were you thinking? Inviting a well-known pathological liar and abuser of law enforcement and our judicial system as a guest on Vinnie Politan? Trigger warning, I can't believe what I'm seeing. Investigate Lauren Matthias stat. This isn't drama. It's a crime what she's done, breaking so many laws across 3 states. What happened to Lauren's face? Did she eat a chipmunk? Sorry, Vin. As soon as you brought Lauren on, I turned off. That lady has issues. This one, Windy Wednesday says, seriously, you have to know what Lauren's been up to behind the scenes. I'm going to assume you're birds of a feather. Bye. Yikes.
I wonder, did Vinny reply to any of this? I wonder if he said anything.
Lauren Matthias is morally corrupt. Having her on here is disturbing, to say the least. Batman Lee says, Lauren Matthias as a reputation guest on? You've got to be kidding me right now. There's no way. How disgusting.
It just seems like the wrong time to do it. Like,
oh, Melly. Then he supports the lames. I thought Melly used to be a mod for him. Oh, let me make this bigger so you can see it. Hold on.
I can't see it yet.
Shit. Son of a...
See, I can't do that on my StreamYard. I've got to learn how to do this.
Okay, hopefully, especially if you're on the TV, it should be better. Unsubscribed, cannot watch anything Hidden True Crime. But, okay, so Melly says, Vinny supports the lames. Cottage Tales, Gray Hughes, and Liar Matthias. Clown emoji.
Wow.
Did you have Lauren on for...
So, if that was one of his ex-mods, that tells me that he's doing it for views. He's doing it so that, yeah, he'll get views and engagement.
Views. Can't think of any
he doesn't care.
Reason why you'd give her a platform. She is a horrid human. So is her weird husband. There is no way I'm seeing Lauren on this show. I'm shocked. Unbelievable. I'm not going to be watching anymore. Isabella says, go back to your kitchen. Wow. Okay. Isabella 1961. Wouldn't that be about John's birthday? Was he born in 61? Isabella. Go back to your kitchen.
I bet you will
I can't believe they allowed Lauren Matthias on this show. Let's click on the replies.
I bet we'll never see her on Law and Crime again. No, at least we can hold on to that. Law and Crime.
Give me the dirt. I know who she is, but don't know much about her. Search her name on YouTube. You will be set for months with content. Girl, you are months behind, says Tobeans. It is so bad. She has weaponized the court system for a false RO because she talks crap about victims behind the scenes and was caught. Specifically, victims in the Lori Vallow Daybell case. She has also spoken crap about other podcasters. It's insane. Oh, Tobeans.
I like to, from time to time, I did this often with Gypsy Rose Blanchard. I would go over into Google and do a search just to see what comes up when you Google hidden true crime. Because a lot of people have PR or whatever, and it gets buried, the true what's happening. And it's happening, it's getting buried because there's not a whole lot that comes up at first. You get hidden true crime, you get their YouTube page, you get their Spotify, the questions, what is the #1 rated true crime podcast? Where does Lauren Matthias live? What is the highest rated true crime podcast? I mean, none of it really pops up in the very beginning. Not even over on Reddit. The thing that pops up is hidden true crime Lauren Matthias stalked, but it's a good one. It's a good Reddit. The discussion centers on Lauren Matthias' alleged stalking by Christina, whose social media reportedly targets Lauren, and it's a good piece on her. So that one, Reddit stays up. And then we get some Facebook, we get their Patreon, we get the 9-hour Melodee Buzzard. So we do start to get a few things down here, but it's still, we get the her being stalked, we get her Mormon stories. Actually, it's been bumped out. It's not even up here anymore. There was one on, I think Lori Hollis's video on Lauren was there, but you see nothing comes up. Like nobody, I've said this, it's not in the vast majority of people's algorithm. People do not know this is happening. In the comments that I showed you at the beginning of this live, those people didn't know what was going on. They just knew something was different. They didn't know. They're hiding it from us. Let's see if it pops up on the second page. We get their Instagram. We get the more Melodee Buzzard, their hidden true crime, the Rainer, all the stuff that we've done on them. And it's not coming up. Not even the Reddit forum that's like on fire about them comes up. They definitely have somebody working on their end, or Grayson's doing it. They're hiding, they're burying our stuff. Because do you see anything yet? And we're on, let's go to 4. Nothing. You wonder why they're gaining subscribers? It's because it's not getting, like, major news sources aren't picking it up, and it's getting buried. When you click on hidden true crime videos, you don't get any of it. There was at least one before, and now that's even gone. Here's one. Duty Ron's. The first one that talks about it is Duty Ron that gets through, and that's over. Where are we on? 4 or 5? I don't even know. We're not. We're over in videos. So it takes this far down. We got to keep going. All the way down there. Here, finally, we get something with Jay's channel. Jay, finally, we get something finally. It's so, I don't know what all I have to do is to say is to share this out to as many social media platforms as you can, far and near, share it. We're like, not just my stuff, everybody's stuff that's talking about it. Just share, just blast and send it. Like, if you feel like it, you don't have to. No flying monkeys, just all honest, truthful stuff. Don't go to their pages and stuff, but I'm saying, like, go to like groups, true crime groups, and just report on what's, what is. If you want to reach out to your favorite for realsies news reporter, it just, the story is getting buried, is what I'm saying. What do you guys think about all of this? I had to lock the little bird out of the room. He's getting itchy, so I'm going to start winding things down. $2.3 million buys a lot of hollow accounts, bots, and employees whose job is to make things appear better than they are, and it's working. But I will say this, Gypsy Rose Blanchard, I mean, people stayed on her butt, and I think Gypsy Rose is going to have a downfall pretty soon. If she can survive this latest round of stuff that's come out, then she is a true cockroach, and yes, she will survive anything. If this doesn't take her down, Gypsy Rose Blanchard, nothing will. I just watched a little of her live last night. She sounds like she was holding back some tears. Yeah, I felt like she wanted to cry, and I don't think she wanted to cry because of the lost child, because it's horrible. And we're gonna look at Melodee Buzzard. I will set a specific time to do that. Sorry. My mic fell over and still has a short, but we're going to look at Melodee's case because I do want to follow that case through trial because I'm invested now. And I'm also going to, somebody asked me to take a look at the Reiner case because they didn't want to have to watch it with Lauren. I am doing my live miss, my 12 days of Christmas. We're doing our live 12 days of Christmas, but we're actually doing it the real way, the right way this year. I had no idea that the 12 days of Christmas actually was Christmas, starting at Christmas, and the 12 days after, like leading after Christmas. It's not the 12 days leading up to Christmas. It's the 12 days after Christmas. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to do it the OG way this year. So we're going to start doing live miss Christmas Day. We're going to be doing live miss on Christmas Day, and we're going to be doing it the OG way. Farmer's Almanac says, and when does the 12 days of Christmas start? Is the 12 days of Christmas just a song? No, because I asked, what is the 12 days of Christmas anyway? Because I guess I didn't have a full understanding of what it even was. So for many Western Christian denominations, the 12 days of Christmas or Christmas tides are a 12-day festive religious season. They celebrate the nativity of Jesus. The 12 days represent the time that it took for the three wise men or kings to travel to Bethlehem to visit baby Jesus and offer him gifts. In certain Eastern Orthodox denomination, it is instead a celebration of the time from Christ's birth to his baptism. So, we're going to start on December 20. Well, actually, somebody said today
the birth of today is actually the birth of Jesus, right? Mary's giving birth to him today. She's in labor. I don't want, that's what the word labor, she's in birth. She's in labor. And so some people said today was actually the first day, but we're going to do it so that December 25th is the first day. We'll be doing it till January 6th. And yeah, I hope you guys will come hang out with us. We're going to be doing I'll be looking at the Rob Reiner case during the 12 Days of Christmas, and a few other cases. We'll be looking at the Melodee Buzzard. We'll be continuing on with hidden true crime. I'll probably throw in some Watts. I do a lot on the Chris Watts case. And yeah, if you have any suggestions, let me know. Thanks, guys, for being here. Be sure to give this live a thumbs up. Thank you, Unsolved Amy Boston, for becoming a member. The member is our Dragonfly program that we have over on YouTube. We have a membership program. It's a way that you can help us out and a way that we can, give you a little added content. Here, let me show you a little something about it.
And if you're not subscribed, why are you not subscribed? I would really, really, really love to have you as a power subscriber. If you really like my content, be sure to become a Dragonfly, and that's our membership, and it's $2.99 a month. I release all my videos early. We have special emojis over in the chat room. I kind of share things ahead of time with my Dragonflies, and I go live sometimes just for the Dragonflies. It's a way that I can support you guys and give you more content, and it's a way for you to support our channel. It's $2.99 a month, and I would love to have you.
And we have the link down in chat, and I will also put it over in the YouTube show notes. So we're going to go out listening to some Christmas music, Hidden True Crime Edition, of course. Thank you, Jay, for making this banger. Really, really do appreciate it. Oh, also, if you're if you need to do any last minute, maybe some Christmas shopping, we do have a merch line that we did with Dreamland Art, and she created some merch for us if you're interested. That's it right there. Dreamland Art is a creator that we found over on the Tiki Taki streets. She's a mother who supports her kids, and yeah, she created this for us, and we will have that down in the notes as well if you need any last minute accessories or tees or t-shirts. We had a request to make extra large, like super sizes, so I think it goes all the way up to 5X now, so we do like to try to accommodate. So okay, guys, thanks, Jay, for making this music video for us. I really do love it. Thank you guys for being here. If nobody's told you this today, and even if they have, I really don't care. I'm going to tell you guys this. Merry Christmas. I'm going to see you tomorrow. Be good to yourselves. And I love you guys so, so much. Bye, guys.
John's nuts roasting on an open fire. False alarms nipping at your nose. Holiday spirals climbing higher, while the truth quietly tiptoes. Everybody knows a grift and mistletoe help to make the outrage bright. Checking Reddit with their eyes aglow, clicking live again tonight. They know that Lauren's on her way with a brand new face and claims to say. Soft voice, grave tone, camera tight, selling panic wrapped in I'm right. Then there's Grayson typing fast, calling cops like Christmas past. Murdered at dinner with righteous cries. Watch that narrative fly, fly, fly. And John stays calm, plays the role, nods along while the storyline rolls. Paper trails that don't exist, but invoking the FBI sells the twist. Everybody knows a badge and a bluff help to make the season tense. Nothing says joy like calling the law over an internet offense. They swear it's real, they swear it's true. Santa's checking filings too. John throws his glasses as Grayson spies to see if their shady lawyer qualifies. And so I'm offering this simple phrase for viewers from 1 to 92. Although it's been said so many times, many ways receipts matter. Merry Christmas to you.
Miss my cue, but I had you for that day. Here in the blue, I'm falling deep into you.
Be sure to give this live a thumbs up. Helps me go out into the algorithm party out there. Bring more people back to the party. It's just a free way to help me out.
With you tonight, and it feels fine. Feels fine. Baby, I'm dancing with you tonight. Here in the blue, I'm dancing and falling out, hoping for some time with you.